Hello ladies and gentlemen and everyone else, welcome to Ted's Booze Cellar, the most premier alcohol review show here on YouTube, with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It is 26 minutes past 4 on the 22nd of August 2025. I hope I'm finding you all in a good state of affairs, and if I'm not, then I hope things improve very soon for you. Now, my dad and my stepmom recently went for a much well-deserved break and a bit of rest up in Normandy in France, and on their way back they got me some very nice beers as a little treat. And I've already had a couple of them because I quite like continental European beers, but I thought I'd save this one for doing a video on it because this looks very, very interesting. This is a Trappiste Belgian beer, but it's a little bit interesting, so I found a blog that talks about it a little bit more in detail. And I was just going to take some notes from that before we go on to reviewing this, but this is Orval, and it's very, very handsome looking. So I'll give it right off the bat for the packaging, label and the bottle and all that jazz a very, very nice 9 out of 10. There's just something about it that I can't quite put my finger on, but overall it's a very nice looking bottle, really good curvature. I like the cap and the design on there as well. And the label and the colours of it are really interesting. I just really like how they stand out against the darkness of the glass of the bottle itself. So I'll give the glass bottle and the label around it a good 9 out of 10. It's actually got some Trappist monastery imagery on this because basically Trappist beers are brewed in Trappist monasteries which are dotted around Belgium, and they beers that are brewed in these monasteries, they're brewed not really for profit, they're brewed to mainly raise funds to help fuel and maintain the living standards of the monks that minister and keep in line these breweries and the monasteries that they are a part of. And they also help to raise some money for charitable causes. Now, if it's brewed in a Trappist monastery, it gets the right to display Trappist, imagery on its packaging, as you can see on this one here. But what's particularly interesting about this particular beer is that it is brewed in an abbey called the Abbey Notre Dame de Orval. I'm probably butchering that mispronunciation really horribly, so my apologies on that one. But it's particularly interesting because usually a lot of Trappist breweries that are attached to these monasteries brew a few different types of beer. Usually it's 3, but this one is unique in the fact that it's the only beer that is brewed in the Abbey Notre Dame d'Orval. So that's actually quite interesting, and I thought that was worth pointing out because it is very, very unique in that sense. And I feel like one thing that does also go somewhat understated when talking about this beer is the fact that it only comes in 330ml bottles. So that's also quite interesting, I find. Now, I was trying to look for the alcohol percentage volume earlier, but I couldn't find it. Up, there we are, 6.2%. So not the strongest Trappist beer, but it's about on par for what you'd expect for a lot of Belgian beers. Belgian beers, in my experience, have tended to be quite strong. And I mean that in a good way because I love Belgian beers. So yeah, no, I'm interested to see what this is like. And I think I'll have to get a bottle opener from the fridge because I forgot to bring one over with me. Alright, we've got our good old Charlton Athletic bottle opener. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The blog I did read made a point of how it looks in terms of like its colour and its hue. So I've got a glass here to pour it into, which I don't always do when I review beers, but I think, it would be nice to if I have the opportunity to do so. So I will do so here. So let's have a quick snifter of it in the bottle to see what our first impressions are like. Yeah, a bit subdued in the bottle. It's got quite a narrow nose, as you can see, so it's obviously not going to have much room for the air to breathe and for the nose to be recognisable. But it's a nice, wheaty, sweet, strong smell. I mean, 6 out of 10 in the bottle. It's just not really got a lot of room for me to properly tell what the nose is like. So I think we'll have to pour it in a glass to get a really good impression of that. So I've got the Titanic Brewery, or at least one of my Titanic Brewery glasses. And the blog I did read mentioned about it being kind of like a honey-ish hue. Now, I've absolutely messed up the head there because it was already a little bit fizzed up, so that's kind of on my part. Right, there we are, finally. I managed to mostly sort out the head. Now, it's not quite ideal, so I do apologise about that, especially to my dad and my stepmom, so sorry. It was just quite heavily shaked up, I think, by being in my fridge. And when you transport beers, they're going to get shaken up anyway. I remember bringing back a big can of Red Eric beer from when I went to Germany, and that was pretty heavily shaken up when I had that. So I'll just cut out the bit where I was struggling for ages to pour the beer out properly. So don't worry, this is all optimal. But anyway, let's have a quick snifter of it in the glass to see what our proper first impressions are like. Yep. Much of the same, really. It's quite a deep, rich, sweet nose. It's very strong, and it's just got a bit more room to breathe in the glass. So, again, it's not much to tell of in the glass, but it's definitely more prominent and more pleasant nose. Not really got a harsh after smell, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, before we see what this sucker tastes like, we obviously need to have ourselves a quick palate cleanser. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a good weekend ahead, and remember to drink responsibly. And now, on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a fantastic, magnifique weekend ahead, and until next time, bottoms up. Oh, for a fairly strong beer, that's really smooth. The texture and the mouthfeel just goes down really easily. It's so smooth for like such a strong fizzy beer, but oh, it's so nice. There's like a honeyish underlying sort of sweetness to it, but there's this sort of like floral sort of sereneness to it as well. It's like a very powerful mix of flavours that are quite strong on their own, and together they create a tapestry of really contrasting flavours. There's like a bit of honeyness, there's a bit of this like sort of foresty, florally kind of flavour to it as well, and there's like a little bit of a bitterness at the end as well. But like, even though they're starkly contrasting flavours, they all mix together really well. But what really stands out to me is the mouthfeel and the texture of this. It's so smooth, despite it being a beer that's over 6%. You know, sometimes I feel like in the back of my head, the stronger a beer is, sometimes the harsher it can be. Now, I know that's obviously very illogical and that doesn't really make much sense, but sometimes with some strong beers, they can be quite sensorily overwhelming for me. So this is absolutely wonderful. This is really smooth, and it's really good for that, because it then lets the flavours stand out together in their own way, and the flavours that are there are really good. And even though they're quite strong flavours, I don't feel like any of the flavours in this beer really overpower each other. So it's great. It's got like a good smooth texture. The flavours that are there that are prominent are fairly simple and sort of easily palatable. And even though they're quite stark, they don't overwhelm each other too much. So it's a really finely balanced beer, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, it's got this sort of bitter caramel aftertaste that's really something else. Like, yeah, honestly, I'm struggling to find much to complain about this. So, yeah, I'm genuinely struggling to think of anything negative to say about this. So, honestly, 10. This is honestly an all-timer. I can't remember what the last drink was that I gave a 10 to, but like, genuinely, this is sensational. This is one of the best Belgian beers I've ever had. Like, it's absolutely sensational. It might be in the running for one of my top 5 favourite beers ever. It's genuinely really good. Oh, yeah, if I was going to say like the ideal semi-light Trappist beer, this would be it. Like, it's got a dark honeyish flavour to it, but it's obviously not quite as dark and heavy as some Belgian Trappist beers. But this is sensational. Really good stuff. Absolutely love it. To the people making this, you are smashing this out of the park. This is absolutely wonderful, and this is thoroughly a buy. Would recommend. Absolutely brilliant. Even for like first-time Trappist beer drinkers, it's probably a safe bet actually as well. So yeah, honestly, really enjoy this. Would buy, definitely recommend. 10 out of 10, all-timer. So, whew, yeah, no, that was actually a really pleasant surprise. After the nose was somewhat understated, I was thinking like, oh, what's this going to be like? No, I honestly really enjoy this. So really sensational stuff. And to my dad and my stepmom for gifting me this, thank you very much. And to everyone who watched this video, if you did like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for drinks I should review or video formats I should try out, leave those in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out any of my social medias, I'll leave the links to that in the video description down below. And until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now. Oh, c'est magnifique.